Okay, let's see. You better start this time. Great! It's starting, finally. Just better hope it loads.
20 minutes later.
Oh, why is it taking so long? Oh, great! Now the music stopped. Oh, you know what? Calm down. Last time it started, so let's give it some time.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Now it's faded to black. Oh, fuck. If I install one more goddamn fucking mod!
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a net.
After inserting the disc on our second-hand PS3, we hope to see some cool Rockstar logo transitions. But no, they just wanted us to get straight into the game and prepare ourselves for the emotional roller coaster that is Grand Theft Auto 4. We were then introduced to this dark, mellow and cool loading screen music as the image flicked through. Later on, we were introduced to
Daddy's back, you bitches!
we were then introduced to the game's protagonist, Niko Bellic. Now, this game is fucking amazing. From its almost perfect recreation of the mid to late 2000s New York, its realistic gameplay, physics, dark and dingy tone, story and characters, and a lot more. And I tell you, when I first saw the gameplay in 2014, I couldn't believe how good it looked. And to be quite honest, I hadn't seen anything that amazing, okay? So don't judge me. Now, like always, I'm not going to talk about the game's story or secrets, so I'll leave this here. Don't go telling everyone where you found it, okay? So let's begin, shall we? Let's start with the gameplay. The gameplay in this game is it's quite unique. Everything feels as if it is a real, physical thing with their own weight to it. When Niko jumps, you can feel the energy flow through his body to make the movement. You can even feel it as he sprints. I always thought he looked weird while running though. When in combat, each punch, even though it feels slow, feels and sounds like it hurts. The physics engine used was way too realistic for 2008 standards, and apparently not many people liked it. For example, the driving. Each vehicle has their own various handling. SUVs have a lot of role when it comes to making turns, like in real life. Trucks are slow and heavy and sometimes difficult to maneuver, like in real life, and sports cars feel fast, agile, snappy when making quick changes in lanes, but absolutely scary when driving to its max. Because, you might crash and send Niko flying into the shadow realm. The damage that can be caused to vehicles are insane and can range from a couple of dents to almost BeamNG levels of malarkey. I get why people find that the driving physics is too much to handle due to it being too realistic, but it's not that bad in my opinion. I never had any problems with it. It was fun for me, trying to wrestle a car which may not have power steering, and honestly, I find the driving physics in Driver San Francisco more frustrating than in Grand Theft Auto 4. Because in that game, one small turn and the car wants to understeer and glide.
Like a fucking lizard on ice.
The real problem for me in Grand Theft Auto 4 were the bikes, which I'll talk about in the next video. I also like how NPCs just ended up flying after you knock them down. It was hilarious. Back to combat. When fighting an enemy, the target that appears has a meter showing the enemy's life, and when you kick the guy's ass, they won't just die, like in previous titles, and they instead limp or run away, hunched over in pain, like something someone would do in real life. Shooting in this game is impactful. I mean, every gunshot sounds deadly and metallic. Whether you're using a pistol or an AK, the sounds that these weapons create are insane. But the RPG in this game is absolutely crazy, because I like how the rockets spiral in the air. It gives you the satisfaction when you hit the target, as well as the satisfaction when it misses the target and hits a random NPC, okay? Speaking of weapons, There aren't any ammunition stores in these games, but instead, the ammunition in GTA 4 is more of an underground gun store, making the purchasing of guns feel even more shady than in other Grand Theft Auto titles. I could talk more about this game's attention to detail, but it will take ages to discuss, so I'll leave this here if you're interested. I'm not telling you to watch it, I'm just saying if you're interested. Now let's move on to the game's actors. Now, GTA 4's main story didn't have many popular actors' voices that I knew of, but they still did an incredible job to bring these characters to life. Even though I have never heard of these performers, here is a small list of actors in the game that I think are quite interesting. This will not include the variety of stand-up comics, okay? So no Ricky Gervais or Cat Williams. Okay. Anyway, first actor, Timothy Adams, who voiced Brucey Kibitz. Honestly, just look at this chat of a man. In my opinion, just by looking at him, I think he fits the role quite well. I looked into his IMDb to get more info, and it turns out his most notable work is in movies like Die Hard with a Vengeance, The Virgin Suicides, and surprisingly enough, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The second actor, Charlie Parker, who voiced Elizabeth Torres. Oh man, Elizabeth is one crazy badass woman. The actress who played her is most popularly known from shows like Boardwalk Empire and Marvel's Jessica Jones. Third voice actor, Frank Bonsangue. Bonsangue. Anyway, Frank. He voiced Full Bell. Now, he is an actor, but he has worked as part of the transportation department in many movies. Some of the movies being Noah, I Am Legend, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, as well as the first Avengers film. And while I was looking through his IMDb, I found that, like Timothy, he also acted in a Spider-Man film. But this time in 2004's Spider-Man 2 as the Pizza Man, but was uncredited for his role. Fourth actor, David Conley, who voiced Gordon Sargent. He's an actor mostly known for the movies Black Mass and, wait for it, here it comes, the 2005 version of War of the Worlds. Fifth voice actor, Carol Roden, who voiced Mikael Faustin. He's an actor who is well known for being part of movies like The Orphan, The Bourne Supremacy, Rock and Roller, and 2004's Hellboy. And the sixth, and by far my most favorite of the list, Sharon Angela, who voices Angie Pecorino. She is by far most popularly known as the one, the only Rosalie April from The Sopranos.
Fucking nosy? Eat your marigold.
Now it's time to talk about my favorite missions. This game is packed with amazing missions, so much so that I cannot just talk about all of them, as I implore you to play the game for yourself. So what I'll do is narrow it down to like 3 missions which I had enjoyed a lot. The missions are Hostile Negotiations. In this mission, Nico's cousin Roman gets kidnapped, so Nico has to find the location that Roman is being held captive. When Nico arrives to the factory, he ends up bringing down hell upon them and kills the henchman and the guy who has ordered the kidnapping of Roman. Second mission, Museum Piece. In this mission, Nico is accompanied by Lost MC's Johnny Klibitz to a deal which involves diamonds. They get to the museum where the deal will take place. So while the guy is inspecting the quality of the diamonds, Luis Lopez ambushes the deal, which causes all the people involved in a mass gunfight. To me, this mission is one of my favorites because it contains all 3 main characters crossing over for all different reasons. And the third mission, 3-Leaf Clover. In this mission, Packy and his crew plan to rob the Bank of Liberty. Nico agrees to help them, so when they arrive, everything goes to plan and they successfully rob the bank. Or so they think. One of their crew members accidentally gets killed by a civilian in the bank, which increases the tension, and on top of that, the entire of the LCPD has arrived on location to stop them. So, they fight their way through the streets of Liberty City into an underground railway where they make their escape. I'm telling you, this mission reminds me so much of Heat. Now it's that time of the video where I talk about what everyone else does when they mention Grand Theft Auto. The music. Grand Theft Auto 4 has a lot of radio stations that I haven't listened to while playing the game growing up. And to be quite honest, I never really listened to the radio stations in this game. And boy do I regret not listening to them. There is a ton of bangers. So as of recently, I decided to have a listen to the radio stations, and I decided to share with you guys what I enjoyed. Now, unlike before, I won't name every single radio station and my favorite songs in each station, but instead I will just name 4 stations and the songs that I enjoyed with them as well. Like always, I'll leave a link in the description of the playlist consisting of every single radio station in the game. It may or may not include Lost and Damned and Ballad of Gay Tony. Let's get into it, shall we? The stations that I enjoyed are Massive B Radio. Well, to be quite honest, there was only one song that I liked, thanks to Hulopi? Anyway, the song is Better Than Them by Burrow Benton. The second radio station is Liberty Rock Radio. The songs that I liked are One Vision by Queen, Thug by ZZ Top, 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins, and Fascination by David Bowie. The third radio station, Electroshock, however you want to pronounce it. The songs that I liked are No Pressure, Dead Mouse remix by 1+1, The Devil in Us, Dub by Black Devil Disco Club, and BTTTTRY, Big Raiders remix by KIM, or it may just stand for Subscribe to Mr. Sajano. I don't know, okay? Or you can just call it Battery by Kim, I don't know. And the fourth and final radio station, Vice City FM. This radio station is also the return of the legend himself, Fernando Martinez. Anyways, the songs that I liked are I Can't Wait by New Shoes, You're the Voice by John Farnham, Love Changes Everything by Climby Fisher, and Man Eater by Hall & Oates. I can't tell you how much I love this station. There's more, but I'll let you discover them for yourself. Now it's time to discuss which versions of the game you should play, okay? The best, most stable way to experience these games are on console. No ifs, ands, or buts, full stop. The PC version has been butchered by Rockstar in the recent years, and you need to put like a million mods to make it even run better, and even that might not work if you're like me and have a laptop from 2019 that was said to be good enough to run Grand Theft Auto 4. Quick guess on how that's turned out. Were you able to count how many times the footage in this video was stuttering? And if you have an Xbox 360 version, well, congratulations, you pieces of shit, because you guys can play it on the Xbox One and Xbox Series consoles via backwards compatibility with a much higher frame rate. I still don't understand why we can't play PS3 games on the PS5 as yet, and it's fucking infuriating. Anyway, if you want to experience this cinematic classic of a video game, get it on the PS3 or use Xbox backwards compatibility. Or maybe emulate it on your PC using RPCS3 or Xenia. I don't know, I don't tell you how to live your life. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 4 is one of my favorite games in the franchise. It was an amazing experience, and to be quite frank, I haven't yet finished the game, and I'm planning on doing that soon. But, you know, life has a way of fucking with you. So, yeah. I'll never forget playing it for the first time and being blown away by how it looks. Despite it having performance issues on PC and an inconsistent frame rate on the PS3, I still had fun playing it. If you get a chance, I highly recommend you try it. But as this was the end of one story, Rockstar Games decided it had one more trick up its sleeve.